Hello friends. So this is the 8th lecture and part 2. And we can see that we have covered some points such as what are the causes for wrong judgment by critics. We have seen pride is one, second is little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and third is don't go after minor faults and lose the beauty of the whole, like Huxley with the Taj Mahal. And then we saw some people go after conceits and bombast, some others go, they are searching for sound, rhyming and so on, and then extreme should be avoided. We saw that, isn't it? And then you have got other points like the ancients, how we should praise them, and you have got with some critics are swimming with the current opinion of the town's opinion, and then some are fickle, they change their mind every now and then. Now there is the remaining part. There is actually what you can see, there is some confusion you will find, because up to this it's okay. Now what Pope says is not directly connected with what he aims at. What he aims at is that he wanted to say that these are the causes for the wrong judgments made by critics. Of course, there is one more point very clear, that is envy, he says. Envy causes. And in that we come attack on Dryden, then attack on Homer, Plato and so on. So, although I have listed points like this, attacks on Dryden, then envy, then patriarch wits, and inferior poets should not be praised and so on, it is not that much clear. But still you will find all these points, and towards the end of this part you will find there is reference to Charles II's reign and also William III's reign. Charles II is supposed concerned to be, is a monarch who easy go, love and luxury. As a result of that, corruption set in and all those things. We will see towards the end of it, but towards the timing, let's begin like this. That is, we say that there is attack on Dryden. And that is because, some people think that they are always right. And they make themselves the measure of mankind. They say we are right. Whatever we say is the law. See? And therefore, he said you should follow us. Then we will think that they are wits or they have got merit, because their opinions are used for praising others. We will think like that. But then what happens is some people will oppose this and the factions will develop. If two critics fight, it is a private fight. If two factions fight, it becomes a public fight, as it happens with the attacks on Dryden. Many critics, there is parsons even, priests, they attacked Dryden. And they were foolish enough, so to say, we can say, parsons and so on, to attack Dryden. It was a jest. People consider it as a jest, jest, a fun, something like that. Then after some time people forgot this, and what happened to Dryden? Dryden came out with all his glory. And this is compared to the rising sun. When the sun's powerful beams of the sun spreads, the sun spreads his powerful beams in the morning, it will be, we can say, there will be a kind of, the fogs will, so to say, fog, mist and fog will make it dim. But after some time what will happen? The powerful beams of the sun itself will remove this, and the sun will come out with all his glory. So those who attacked Dryden, this is what happened. Those who attacked Dryden, what happened is this Dryden came out with great glory. Understand? So and he says, well, will Dryden come back and bless us? He again refers to, Pope again refers to two other minor critics. You can say they are minor. And they are, as you can see, Blackmore's and Milbourne's. So they were minor critics. They also, so to say, and also there is another person, Soilus. Soilus is soilless. Soilless. So the main point is, as we have seen already, that is our 11th point is that attacks on Dryden. Attacks on Dryden. That's the point. But there are many other things also that he says. Soilus. Soilus is a sophist. Sophist who criticized Plato and Aristotle. So new Blackmores will come, Milbournes will come. New Milbournes, new Blackmore means those people they also are dead and gone. But he says to criticize the present people of merit, someday they will come like they criticized the Dryden. See that? And then a third, 12th point is, we have already seen, I have already told you envy. Envy. That is, I told you in this section, Pope deals with the two deadly sins. It begins with pride, and now almost you can say comes to end with envy. He says, envy follows merit like a shadow. Wherever there is merit, envy will go after it. Why? To scorn, to say that, after all, what is this? Shadow. So it will eclipse the author for some time. But what happened? The grossness of envy will be revealed. Like morning vapors disappear when the sun rises. See that? The obscure rays of sun will become glorious. Just like that. Even if you envy a person who has got real merit, you cannot do anything with that. After some time, he will shine forth with all his splendor and glory. Understand? Now the 13th point is, as we have seen, about patriarch wits. Patriarch wits. Now this patriarch wits could mean two things. One, that is fathers of the church who lived in the 2nd century. But when I say I'm not a great critic or anything like that. So you can, of course, differ from my opinion. But according to me, my humble thinking is that what has to do with patriarch versus fathers of the church here? Here I think it's more about Homer, Dryden, Chaucer and so on. So there is an age of patriarchs that we must follow them, we must emulate them. Like Dryden. Dryden emulated Chaucer. Dryden emulated Shakespeare. All for love. See? That's an example for that. So then what happens is, this idea becomes bright. And in the master's mind, such ideas will become bright. And again he comes back with envy. Envious wits. There are people who feel envy, and they are envious about these houses now. One of the problems is that they never feel sorry. Those who reach, and in this case what happens is presently, that's what I said, there is some confusion. Now again is coming back to envy. And it says, now these days those who reach Parnassus, that is the peak, the abode of the muses, that means highest glory, they will push down those people who are coming up. So that is the present situation. The present situation is not a good one. That is it. There's a lofty. Those who reach the lofty crown or attain the lofty crown of Parnassus, they spurn others down. These are the words used by Pope himself. See, they have got a lust for praise, a thirst for glory. Isn't it? And it is a mistake. And critics, he says, in between he says like this, but critics should not abandon them. And Because he says that famous line, to err is human, to forgive divine. That's the context in which he says. See that? These people are mistaken people, envious people, lust for glory, thirst for glory, lust for fame, and they want to burn down the other people who are trying to come up. But even then he says, don't leave them, don't abandon them. Because he says, to err is human and forgive is divine. Understand? So he says, good nature and good sense should ever join. A good critic should be like this. The definition of a good critic is, good nature and good sense should join. And he must be conscious of the fact that to err is human, to forgive divine. It is oft quoted famous. Understand? And after some time, of course, when continuing towards the end of the part 3, if you read the text, you will find that it says, once upon a time, triumphs were reserved for only generals. But now it is not like the soldiers also. We can give the crowns to soldiers also. That is a minor poets. But he says, inferior poets should not be praised. Inferior poets who write obscene things, who are dull and who have in their mind dullness and obscenity. Such people should not be forgiven, he said. Such people should not be praised. Such people should not be taken heed of. That's the point. So that is our 14th point. That is inferior poets who dullness and who are dull and obscene. Obscene is such people should not be praised. Whatever happens. But other people who, just because they are envious, just because they are spurning the other people who are trying to reach the Parnassus or reach the crown, that we can forgive. Because they are people of merit. But those inferior people who are dull and who spread obscene things, etc., should never be praised. So, and the remaining part of that part 3, it speaks about two kings. One is Charles II. He was a slave of love and luxury. Then what will happen is the state will be ruled by guilds. So that's what happened during the reign of Charles II. And then comes the reign of William III. Lot of heresies, for example. So, Socinianism is a heresy, we can say, or a faction that rose up against the Puritans. It was a reaction against the Puritans. Puritans, all rules and regulations, like the Pharisees of the Old Testament. That is, they are always moved by, influenced by only rules. How to observe this rule? So that your sheep has fallen into the well. Then they will look, open the book and see, today is Sabbath, can we rescue them? So scrupulously they were following the letter of the law. So the Puritans also almost like that. Say Milton was a Puritan. So, and then what happened is, another sect came out. That is Socinianism. That is, they rejected the existence of Trinity. So what happened is, during the reign of William III, and there is a fight between these two factions, and I support William III support. So what happened is, he gave permission to speak blasphemies in the pulpit. Blasphemy. What is blasphemy means? That is, a sin directly against God is blasphemy. Or against a doctrine, this is blasphemy. He says, there are people with monster minds. mind of a monster. See that? And therefore what happened is that the age of pleasure and wealth, that was Charles II. It was followed by William III. England was infested with unbelieving priests. This fight in unbelieving priests. So blasphemies. All the people. Because the people were affected, it is as if the people were affected by jaundice. So whatever they looked at through a jaundiced eye. So truth simply disappeared. And thus, Pope concludes part 2. I hope you have followed my arguments. So here, when we come to the end, the last part of this part 2 is about attraction. Dryden is there, and he says there is it's nothing to do with Dryden, because Dryden came out with all glory, and he compares it with the sun rising. And then he says envy others, very important. Like pride in the beginning, envy. Envy causes a lot of problem. That we know, isn't it? Wherever there is merit, envy will go, walk behind that like a shadow. And then what will happen, the truth will come out, and the person who was the victim of envy, he will shine forth. That's the point. Then he says about patriarch, which I think that's about this. He says that the good old days we had patriarch, which means people whose fame lasted for years. And other writers emulated them. But now he says the fame of the poets lasts for only few years. Maximum 60 years, he says. Maximum 60 years. Therefore, if you want to praise such people, then praise now. Then don't wait. That is in that connection, he says. Patriarchs and modern writers. Patriarchs, they have their fame lasting for years and ages, and posterity emulates them. But what about these days? He says maximum 60 years or 20 years or 10 years. So if you want to praise somebody, praise now. Otherwise, tomorrow the fashion will change. That's what he says. That is in connection with patriarchy. Then he says, we can forgive everything, even envy we can forgive. To err is human, to forgive is divine. But dullness and obscenity you cannot forgive. That's what he said. Dullness and obscenity. Inferior poets who are dull and obscene should never be forgiven and should never be praised. And as I told you, the last part, there is a reference to the reign of two kings. Charles II, he was a frivolous person. You can say. He was a slave of love and pleasure, and therefore inferior people rule the state. Ministers, not very bothered about that. And during the William III, reign of William III, there was a fierce quarrel between Puritans and those people who believed in Socinianism. Socinianism is a reactionary spirit. So what happened is, there is unbelieving priests. Orthodox religion has simply disappeared. As a result of that, new unbelieving means some people will support this, some people will support. And they will get in a pulpit and they will say all about this. So blasphemies were blasphemies, and plus he says the press groaned, he says, that's the word he used. The press groaned under licentious blasphemies. And publication also. Not only orators, but those publishers also, the magazines and so on, you will find only this. People infected with jaundice. That means they do not have a clear idea about things, only fighting. And so what happened? Critics also were like that. So there are bad critics. So again, indirectly, if you want, we can say that the religious controversies of the time also created problems for the critics to make right judgment. So you can add it as a 15th point. That's what I think. As I always say, my dear good friends, my dear senior friends, you must read the original text. Hoping that you will read the original text. We will pass on to part 3 in the next class. Till then, bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life.